What is the moral of Squid Game? At first glance, Squid Game looks like an extreme survival game, but beneath the bloodshed lies a harsh truth about society. The show exposes the cruelty of capitalism, where the rich exploit the poor, and the desperate will risk everything for a chance at survival. Each character in the show represents a real-world struggle. Gi-hun, the everyday man drowning in debt, forced to take extreme measures. Sang-woo, a once successful businessman, now crushed under the weight of financial ruin. Ali, a hardworking immigrant, exploited and abandoned. The show isn't just about money. It's about human desperation, moral dilemmas, and the price people are willing to pay for survival. In the end, it asks a chilling question. Is society really that different from the game? Real and inspirational connections. Now, here's where it gets terrifying. Squid Game isn't just a dystopian fantasy, it's inspired by real events and issues that are happening right now. 1. The reality of deadly competitions. While Squid Game is exaggerated, similar competitions have existed. One of the most shocking examples is the Hunger Games-style reality shows in history. Ever heard of the 1980s Japanese show Takeshi's Castle? It was a fun, lighthearted version of an extreme competition, but some believe it was inspired by Japan's brutal work culture, where survival of the fittest is a reality. Even more disturbing is The Running Man, 1987, a game show where convicts fought for their freedom. Fiction? Yes, but eerily close to the gladiator games of ancient Rome, where prisoners were thrown into deadly battles for entertainment. The dark side of debt in South Korea. Household debt has skyrocketed, forcing many people into extreme desperation. Reports show that thousands of people take out loans they can never repay, and some even fall into underground betting rings or criminal activities. The players in Squid Game mirror this very real economic crisis. 3. Organ trafficking, a hidden horror. One of the most chilling subplots in Squid Game is the organ harvesting operation within the game. Shockingly, this is a reality in some parts of the world. According to reports, illegal organ trafficking is a billion-dollar industry, with poor and desperate individuals often tricked into selling their organs for money, sometimes even against their will. 4. South Korea's Hell Joseon. A term commonly used in South Korea, Hell Joseon, refers to the country's extreme economic and social inequalities. Many young people feel trapped in a system where the rich get richer and the poor have no escape. This hopelessness is exactly what Squid Game portrays. What Squid Game wants to show, the audience director Hwang Dong-hyuk has openly stated that Squid Game is a reflection of real-world exploitation and inequality. The show forces us to question, how far would you go for survival? Is life truly fair, or is it just a game rigged by the powerful? Are we already participating in a real-life Squid Game, just in a different form? The masked VIPs in the show represent the elite who control the system, watching as the poor destroy each other for entertainment. This isn't just fiction, it mirrors how the ultra-rich benefit from economic crises while the working class suffers. Has this happened in real life? Believe it or not, elements of Squid Game have happened in different forms. 1. Survival game shows, gone wrong. In 2017, a controversial Russian reality show called Game 2. Winter was announced, where participants would have to survive in the harsh Siberian wilderness. The catch? Anything was allowed, including murder. Though the show was eventually shut down, the idea itself proves that society isn't far from real-life Squid Game scenarios. 2. The infamous rat race. There have been real-life social experiments where people were placed in stressful, game-like environments to see how they react under pressure. Psychological experiments like the Stanford Prison Experiment, 1971, and the Milgram Experiment, 1961, show how humans can be manipulated into cruelty when given the right conditions. 3. Deadly gambling and human trafficking. In some parts of the world, human trafficking rings force victims into underground gambling and blood sports for the entertainment of the elite. Stories have surfaced about debt-ridden individuals being forced into modern-day gladiator fights, though they are covered up and rarely reported in mainstream media. Squid Game might be closer to reality than we think. We may not be playing for our lives, but aren't we all trapped in a game of survival, controlled by money, power, and an unfair system? Job market, competitive, ruthless, favoring the rich. Debt, a never-ending cycle for millions. Entertainment, We watch the suffering of others for fun, from reality shows to viral tragedies. What if the real Squid Game isn't on TV but all around us? Final thought. Can we escape? The biggest question Squid Game leaves us with is there a way out? Gi-hun, the main character, chooses to challenge the system rather than accept it. Perhaps that's the real message, to break free from the cycle rather than play along. So, what do you think? Are we all unknowingly part of a game designed by the powerful, or is there still hope to change the rules? Let's discuss.